Hi, good evening, sir, and all my batchmate. I am Ankit Kumar, roll number 119MN 1004. Today, I am going to give a small presentation on board and pillar method in underground mining. Let's move to introductory part. Mining is the process of extraction of valuable mineral or other geological material from the earth, usually from an ore body, lode, vein, seam, reef, or placer deposits. Ore recovered by mining include metals, coal, oil cells, gemstone, limestone, chalk, dimension stone, rock salt, potash, etc. Coal mining is the process of extracting coal from the ground. Coal is valued for its energy content, and since the 1880s, it has been widely used to generate electricity. A steel and cement industry use coal as a fuel for extraction of iron from iron ore and for cement production. In India, about 98% of underground output of coal is obtained by bored and pillar method and barely 2% by longwall mining method. Other countries like Australia, USA and South Africa use this method extensively. The key to the successful bored and pillar mining is selecting the appropriate pillar size. It should not be too less or more than the defined format. If the pillars are too small, the mine will collapse. If the pillar size is more than required, then the extraction percentage of coal is reduced, ultimately ultimately reducing profitability of the mines. Coal seams can be mined by underground or surface mining method depending on following factors: thickness of seam, depth of occurrence, deep of seam, stripping ratio. Condition required for bored and pillar mining. It is generally used for flat or gentle dipping, bedded ores or coal seams. Pillars are left in place in a regular pattern while the rooms are mined out. In many board and pillar mines that are nearing closure, the pillars are taken out, starting at the farthest point from the mine haulage exit, retreating and letting the roof come down upon the floor. Board and pillar method requires following condition: seam thicker than 1.5 meter, seam should be free from stone and dirt bands, seams should not be gassy, seams at moderate depth, seams with a strong roof and floor which can stand for a long time, coal of adequate crushing strength. Classification of board and pillar system. Develop the entire area into pillars and then extract the pillar starting from the boundary. Develop the area into panel and extract whole, followed by broken, working in which the mine is opened out by a few headings only, and thereafter development and depillaring go on simultaneously. Development of board and pillar system. Basic principle of board and pillar is that when the gallery are developed, a solid block of coal is left surrounded by the gallery are known as pillar. The coal pillars formed are extracted after the development of the mine leasehold. In case of board and pillar, two sets of galleries, one perpendicular to other, are driven, forming pillars between them of size that currently depends on depth and size of the gallery. A group of such pillars form known as panel, and the panel is separated from another panel by having solid coal barrier in between them in the form of long rectangular pillars. Connection between the panel and another should be as few as possible. Design of board and pillar working. Pillar loading of three types as follows: preliminary loading, subsequent loading, tributary area concept. The area surrounding the column bounded by the center line of the panel is the tributary area on which loads are supported by the column at the center of the area as shown in below diagram. The dead load supported by the column is equal to the dead load per unit area times the tributary area. According to this concept, a pillar takes the weight of overlying rock up to a distance of half the opening with surrounding it. Principle in design of a pillar. Pressure arc theory. The pressure arc theory in roof action suggests that when a narrow heading is advanced, the layers of rock in the immediate roof deflect slightly and relieve themselves of the load of the overlying strata by the transferring it to the sides of the opening by means of a pressure arc. The arc width just short of that which the higher strata cannot and transfer the load to the sides of the opening is called the maximum pressure arc. The depth mainly influences the minimum width of the pressure arc, although the type of overburden also plays a part. Size of the panel. Incubation period is the prominent factor while determining the size of the panel. Size should be determined in such a way that coal should be extracted within the period. The Indian coal mines extraction period varies from 6 to 12 months. Another important factor that influences the size of the panel is the method and rate of extraction. Extraction rate of depilling district in Indian mines generally 250 to 300 tons per day. Sometimes, while considering panel size, strata control takes into consideration size of barrier. Width of barrier depends on load which it has to carry and its strength. Greater the depth of working, wider is the barrier and also softer the coal, the more the width of the barrier. In deep mines, the width of barrier may become quite large and so during extraction they are thinned down consistent with safety. Too much reduction in the width of the barrier is not advisable, as in that case the barrier may be crushed and the two globes may be joined, thus increasing safety. Size of pillars. Size of pillars is determined by considering following factors: depth from the surface and method used for development strength of coal seams. Geological consideration like faults, joints, dikes, sills, etc. Presence of water. Time dependent strain also a factor to be considered while determining size of the pillar. Support system. Support system during development of board and pillar mining is a very vital part. Most of the underground mine disaster happens due to bad roof or supporting system. Nowadays, roof bolting as the sole system of supporting has been accepted by Directorate of Mine Safety for mine development galleries. Following factors taken into consideration in support system: layer thickness, roof weathering ability, structural feature, rock strength, groundwater seepage. Depillaring. After pillar has been formed, next is to extract coal from the pillar is known as depillaring. In a method of depillaring known as caving method, the coal of the pillars is extracted and the roof is allowed to break and collapse into the void or the decoiled area known as gulf. As the roof strata about the coal seam break, the ground surface develops cracks and subsides. The extent of damage depend upon depth. First diagram shows a straight line extraction in perpendicular to deep direction. So we can see in figure also. Second diagram shows a straight line of extraction in direction of deep. It is very common manner of extraction, diagonal line of extraction as we are seeing in this figure. In this method, line of extraction makes an angle of 45 degree with the pillar. Hashed portion of the pillar gives a strong support to the roof. I have taken all this data from these references like R.D. Singh, board and pillar method of mining, from online sources also, and from uh, class of S. Jayantu sir, UCMM 2102. And also I have seen some YouTube videos from where I have taken help. Thank you all. Thank you.